speaking of making sure that you're supporting things and that you're out being a part of stuff that's very important, there's a key issue here in our community that not a lot of people like to admit. It's called human trafficking, and there's a lot of human and sex trafficking. It's a major problem right here in our community. And it is one reason why our next guest works so hard to help create awareness about this issue. She has a nonprofit organization. It's called Strands Global Foundation. And we're going to share with you why you need to be aware as well of human and sex trafficking right here in Sacramento, and what you can do to help combat that. So please, everybody, warm welcome right now here. This is Ashley Bryant. So Ashley, though, help our viewers understand how serious is human trafficking right here in the Sacramento region.
So I always like to say that every city in our nation has human trafficking, both labor and sex trafficking. And the really important statistic for us to remember is that 78% of victims don't even know they're victims of human trafficking. So we could come up with a number, and we can, of how many people are recovered, how many people are being restored, but we would add 78% to that.
On top of that.
On top of that. So it's always, it's better for us to think about what can we do, and how can we see it? As parents, what do we look for?
Yeah.
In our kids, as teachers, what do we look for in the classroom?
That's astonishing, because I would never even stop to think about the fact that the victims don't even know that they're victims, right? So when I think about trafficking, I think of somebody who just finds themselves in a difficult situation. They don't know how to get out, but that they are aware that they're in a difficult situation. You're saying that majority of people don't even know that they're in that situation.
Well, they may know that they are being abused and exploited and enslaved. I mean, it's modern day slavery, right?
Yeah.
But the reality that it's human trafficking and that it's a crime, they may not know that.
Okay.
Their circumstances, their life experiences put them wherever they are.
Yeah.
And for them, that's the piece that they haven't connected.
Okay.
That I'm in this space.
And there's been a bill that's been passed, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. This is specifically for education surrounding this issue.
Absolutely. So Assemblyman Bonta and Strands Global Foundation came together to put AB 1227 through this last year at the legislature. We had bipartisan support, which was wonderful.
That is wonderful, yeah.
Both the Senate and the Assembly. And Governor Brown signed it October 7th, 2017, which we are incredibly grateful for. It is the Human Trafficking Prevention, Education, and Training Act, which means that within the Healthy Youth Act in California, our students 7th to 12th grade need to be educated on human trafficking. What does exploitation look like? What is that? Maybe what are some of the tactics of exploiters, of traffickers, and then how teachers are trained so that they can actually recognize in the classroom, they can spot, does she have 2 cell phones? Why is the roller bag in class every day? Just things like that we can
So
know.
the flags they need to be aware of. And very quickly, this is something that you personally know about because you had a friend whose daughter actually was in a situation of trafficking. So this is very real, and especially to you. You have an organization that helps with people who have been victims of human trafficking. And you also give them jobs through some of the items that you have here, right? The bracelets that are created?
So we have a domestic reintegration program, and then we have an international where we buy bracelets that are made by survivors and those at risk of being trafficked. The domestic program, actually, we serve 79 youth in the greater Sacramento area through jobs, sustainable jobs. How do we resource that so that their basic needs are met through sustainable jobs rather than through an exploiter or a trafficker? And then overseas, people can go to our products page on threestrandsglobal.org, at the threestrandsglobalfoundation.org, and they can actually buy bracelets. If they put in the referral code 3, then the nonprofit gets 50% of those proceeds. Otherwise, they can go up and buy our beanies too.
Excellent. Ashley, thank you so much for bringing this forefront for many people that need to get involved. Make sure you check it out, and couldn't be happier to hear about that bill being passed. We'll see everybody back here tomorrow at 11:30 right here on Stack & Co.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.